W.B. Yeats's poem Adam's Curse explores the idea that poetry, beauty, and love are far from effortless. They demand persistent hard work. The speaker, who reflects Yeats himself, discusses these themes with his unrequited love interest and close friend during a late summer evening. As their conversation unfolds, the speaker expresses his disillusionment with art and romance, lamenting how his tireless pursuit of beauty has only left him weary-hearted. The poem suggests that artistic and emotional labor is often undervalued by society, leaving those who engage in such work feeling unappreciated and unfulfilled. The poem opens with the speaker, his beloved, and her gentle friend sitting together, reflecting on the challenges of writing poetry. The speaker out that crafting a single line of verse can take hours of work, yet it must seem spontaneous and natural. If a poem feels forced or labored, all the effort behind it becomes meaningless. He remarks somewhat bitterly that writing poetry is more grueling than physical labor, like scrubbing floors or breaking rocks, yet society tends to dismiss it as laziness. The speaker's complaint reflects the tension between the visible and invisible nature of artistic work. Because good poetry appears seamless, it is often mistaken as effortless or intuitive by those who belong to the practical transactional world. As the conversation shifts, the friend interjects that women understand the burden of hard work, particularly when it comes to beauty. She suggests that beauty, like poetry, requires continuous effort, even though women are rarely taught this openly. The speaker then expands on the idea, referencing the biblical story of Adam's fall, which condemned humanity to labor. He argues that everything good in life, from art to beauty to love, now demands hard work. In the past, courtship was seen as a lofty pursuit that required devotion and wisdom, with lovers quoting romantic literature and engaging in elaborate gestures. However, modern love has become lazy, lacking the same earnestness and effort it once required. The speaker's tone carries action, implying that his romantic efforts have gone unappreciated by the woman he loves, possibly in favor of someone who pursued her with less seriousness. As the mention of love brings a moment of silence between the three, the surrounding scenery seems to mirror the speaker's emotions. They observe the fading daylight and the appearance of the moon in a sky tinged with blue-green hues. The moon, worn and eroded like a seashell polished by the tides of time, symbolizes the slow decay of hopes and ideals. This imagery reflects the speaker's sense of exhaustion, as if the emotional labor he has invested in love has drained him completely. Though he does not say it aloud, the speaker thinks to himself that the woman he loves is still beautiful, and he recalls how earnestly he once tried to win her affection through old-fashioned courtship. Yet, despite their seemingly happy moments, their relationship has grown as empty and lifeless as the moon's hollow shell. The poem explores the idea that art and love involve a kind of martyrdom, an exhausting, noble effort that often yields no tangible reward. The speaker suggests that those who dedicate themselves to these pursuits become martyrs in their own right, sacrificing their happiness and energy for values that the rest of the world does not appreciate. Love, which once seemed like a sacred endeavor, now appears idle and pointless. The word idle carries dual meaning, both lazy and without purpose, implying that modern relationships lack the depth and meaning they once held. This bitter realization underscores the speaker's disappointment as he comes to believe that his laborious efforts in poetry and love have been in vain. In the poem's final reflections, the speaker draws a contrast between those who labor for practical rewards and those who labor for ideals such as beauty and love. Earlier in the conversation, he criticized the world of finance, education, and religion for viewing poets as idle dreamers. Now he suggests that those who devote themselves to artistic and emotional pursuits are the true martyrs, sacrificing their well being for a cause that is rarely acknowledged or rewarded. The labor involved in creating poetry, cultivating beauty, and nurturing love demands unwavering dedication. Society tends to dismiss these efforts as impractical or unnecessary.